Good evening. So tonight we're going to be talking about the Yun versus Ken matchup and how different Yuns approach it. We're going to be looking at Yakkun versus Boss, and then we're going to be looking at Boss versus Hirai from Boss's point of view as Yun, since he does play both Ken and Yun at a professional level. And then we're going to take a look at Nito versus Matsuken, because Nito plays the matchup in a very different way than a lot of people do. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So before we start, let's put this on 75% speed, and that should be good. Start this with red. Alright, so at the beginning, Yakkun decides that he wants to go in, because Ken doesn't have any meter. The only thing that he can really do is DP. The video quality is really bad. So as opposed to going in, he's trying to get meter, obviously, and then he tries to go in. Ken is going to, at that point, try and stay across the screen and force Yun to jump, right? So he's going to be throwing Hado and EX Hado depending on the ranges that Yun is at. EX Hado after crouching medium kick is actually very good for Ken against Ganejin because it forces the Yun to block for a decently long amount of time. Ganejin lasts for about 7 seconds. So when you're eating, a third of their time just for one block string, like, that's extremely strong. And apparently we are having problems with the video. But yes, this video quality is terrible because it's from 2012. And it's from Yakkun's stream. Or not Yakkun, KO's stream, where Yakkun was at his house. So, another thing that you can do, especially mid-screen, that Yakkun likes to do is he likes to walk under Ken. Because it forces Ken to basically only be able to do his jumping medium kick at that point. It's also a mistake for Boss to be jumping at that range unless he plans to actually go for cross-ups, because we all know how good Ken's cross-up game is. And he also doesn't have any meter, if you can see. So there's very little risk for him jumping at that point. But I believe Yakkun throws when he lands, because he didn't press anything. So there, he throws him in the corner and he follows up. He makes sure to do a dive kick in which he can walk back one step and he'll be out of Ken's throw range. Which puts you at the perfect range for crouching light kick, light kick. It puts you at the perfect range for standing medium punch into fierce punch combo. It puts you at the perfect range to, walk forward, throw yourself, command throw, among other things. So he chooses to do close standing medium punch, which puts him at a range where the pokes that he can hit with are standing medium kick, standing fierce punch, and crouching medium kick. Or he can choose to jump and dive kick, and you can hit him with two different types of dive kicks. So he walks back and walks forward. He's gonna throw, gets broken. So that puts him neutral, and Ken's gonna try to get out of the corner. But Yun is at the sweet spot for goaltending, which is when your opponent is in the corner, you want to make sure that you can get to this side of the timer, because when you get to that point, none of their moves can hit you. Ken is forced to jump, and Ken is forced to try and, you know, EX Hurricane out, or, you know, late jump Fierce Kick, depending on what Yun does. Yun can jump air to air, because it's usually better to be second to act when you're jumping. Ken's jump Fierce Punch, or Fierce Kick, is actually very strong in that regard, though, so if he actually puts it out before Yun jumps, then it should hit him. So let's delete that and continue. So he does EX Hurricane, like I said, was one of his major options. Yakkun does jump. I don't know if he was trying to bait it and then try to parry, but that is an option because you can then land and punish. So he's going to hit the Shoryu. He hits the double Shoryu, and then he's going to essentially put you in the same sort of mix-up that you would be in from Super. So he used his EX meter to get out. He manages to get the hit, and then he gains meter by doing the DP, which makes it almost a net positive. Well, it's obviously a net positive for damage and stun, but meter-wise, it's almost a zero sum. So then he dashes up, does Emperor Punch, dashes up again, and when people dash up at you on your wake up, they're actually negative in a lot of cases. So a lot of Kens will like to dash at your face, and a lot of Urians will like to dash at your face. But that isn't always the best option because they usually have a 6-frame recovery window. So if you press something on your wake up, it's more likely that it's going to work, especially against characters like Urian. So he goes for the normal medium punch, fierce punch mix-up, and from the sound of it, it looks like Yakkun went for a block command grab setup, which is basically Zempo tension, where you hold down back for a split second and then go back plus throw. Okay, so now they're back at neutral. They're both in their crouching medium kick range. Ken is also in standing fierce kick range. Yun is at standing medium kick range, standing fierce punch range, or he can neutral jump. He's most likely to neutral jump in this position because the only thing that he can really do to stop it is standing medium kick, but you can parry it on the way up. So he does neutral jump, and now he's going to dive kick. He's going to land right about here. He wants the Ken to be whiffing normals at this point, so that he can try and get in. He's getting close to 50% meter, so once he gets to 50% meter, he usually wants to be going on the offensive, but dive kicking and actually going to hit Ken when he has this much meter is really bad, especially when he has this much life. Because all it takes is one parry into medium punch, fierce punch, super from Ken in order to essentially close out the round, and with him being down a round, that's a very bad choice. So if he's going to continue to neutral jump, he's going to mostly be whiffing dive kicks, and is going to be neutral jumping to a point where he wants Ken to be making his moves. So Ken jumps forward knowing that Yun has to re-jump or go backwards. So Yun's best option right here is to dash punch under him or dash under him. So we'll see what Yakkun does. He walks under. Ken is in recovery. He continues to walk back, and he tries to go forward. I don't know why he tried to go forward there. He could have just goaltended instead. He's whiffing normals in the air again. And then, see, he hit him perfectly. So if we back up 2 seconds, you're going to see that he's going to hit him right here. And when he hits him right in this area, Ken cannot punish. So unless your dive kicks are 100% perfect, which I believe the next is going to be super jump medium kick dive kick, then Ken can punish you. But you'll notice that he gets it, and Ken tries to low forward him, um, and it doesn't work. Ken might have been able to DP, but it's very unlikely that that would have worked. But that is the best option because that is his best 4-frame move, I believe it is. Okay, so he rejumps, neutral jump, and it's gonna looks like it's medium kick because it looks like it took us an extra second to come out. So he parries it. He gets the block against Ken. Ken tried to punish with DP instead of using his super, which is smart. But at the same time, if he had hit confirmed it, he would have pushed him to the corner, and it would have been one mix-up away from a win. It still would have been one mix-up away from a win if he had got the DP, but it's a little safer to go for the super in that particular situation, in my opinion. So he's going to get a punish here. He goes forward, and he goes for a set play. His options after that are to try and jump over him, to try and jump back, crouching medium kick, or, Zempo tension. But because Ken's quick rise, which he did, is very fast, it's probably not the best option to go for a high move. But their life totals are starting to get closer. He does have Ganejin, so it's a possibility that he's going to go for shoulder here. Goes for a shoulder on Ken's backdash, hits him with medium punch shoulder, and now he'll continue with his combo. So because it is really crucial that he gets as much damage as possible, he keeps it simple, he misses his Kara, and he walks forward. He's just out of Ken's throw range again, so Ken is going to be forced to block or jump. So he can guard jump forward, in which case Yun is cornered again. But yeah, that he could have been trying to go into super, like you said. But again, it didn't work either way.
Now, find a new rival.
So he chooses to walk back, crouching medium kick, which forces him to block, obviously. And it puts him at a range where he can walk back and start to goaltend again. And since he has the life lead, he just wants to build as much meter as possible. He doesn't want to give Ken too many opportunities to parry. So he tries to jump back, gets EX Hurricane for it, reset with jab. So he's going to either go for crouching light kick here, or he's going to go for throw more than likely. Throw. So quick rise, he can jump, he can crouching medium kick, or he can standing fierce kick. Most likely not going to be standing fierce kick, but universal overhead, I don't understand that. Actually, that comboed. Interesting. So let's go back a second, and we'll take a look at that. Okay, so he gets the reset, and he gets the throw. Okay, so I forgot about this. When twins or most people quit get up after a standard forward throw, you're at perfect range for universal overhead into super. It's the same thing off of a light punch DP in the corner. So he walks forward, gets his overhead, gets his super. Game 1 goes to boss. So in the neutral, most of the time Yuns will start out with about 3 or 4 different things. They can walk back build meter, they can walk back neutral jump to see how you react, they can dash punch, which is probably the least likely, or they can do shoulder. A lot of Japanese Yuns like to start the round with light punch DP with Yun because it beats a lot of normals, and it goes under a lot of normals. I don't think it's that great in this matchup because he can punish it if you whiff with crouching medium kick into DP, but I mean it is an option. So we'll see what they do. Walks back, goes for a jump in again. Ken doesn't have any meter, so it's safer to approach him now. It's similar to Chun and Dudley, where you want to be approaching when they have the least amount of meter possible. And round one is when you really want to try and get as many pokes in as possible and as many blocked pokes in as possible um, before they start to get to a range where they can start to DED. So he goes for a whiff dive kick, probably into a throw, but Ken reads it and jumps forward. He crosses up. At this particular range, his best option is going to be throw, but we'll see what he goes for. He backdashes into a crouching fierce kick, which can be punished with dash punch by Yun, so that should be the case, but he doesn't. He dashes up instead. Um, so he dashes up, standing medium punch into target combo, walks up again, goes through it again. Again, Ken jumps over, empty jump. He's trying to get Yun to press something. Gets his throw, and he does a forward throw only because he wants to keep him cornered. So he dashes up again, like I was saying, because there are recovery frames on dashing up. If you don't time it perfectly, Yun can just stand light kick on wake up because it's his fastest move, and it'll beat it. So he's going to get stand light kick. It should have been buffered into dash punch, but he doesn't get it. So Ken is just playing footsies now. He's outside of Yun's crouching medium punch range, so he's going to do standing medium kick. Or fierce kick. Yun jumps it, tries to come down. So when you're coming down in that situation, you want to try and make them parry as much as possible, right? So target combo has two different timings. It has instant and it has delayed. So if they fuck up the timing, then you get a free light kick and dash punch. If they don't screw up the timing, then they parry it anyway. And empty jumping in this particular situation is the only other option that you have, since you already neutral jumped and you didn't jump forward. But if you thought that he was going to be able to get the jump, you should have jumped forward, because he would have been able to dive kick over him. So Ken's backing off, because Yun only doesn't even have 50% meter. Jumps in, parries. Okay, so we're going to go back to that. So he whiffs, gets his jump, he gets the first parry, whiffs a medium punch, but Yun can't really punish that. Tries to jump at Yun, empty jumps for parry, gets the kick, is going to hit Yun again, and then he's going to walk in and out of range and try to whiff punish crouching medium kick or crouching medium punch with emperor punch. Or just sweep. But again, he does that same thing. Dashes forward, walks in and out of range. In and out of throw range, trying to bait Yun to throw. And this is something that every character has, where you bait them for throw and then you punish their whiff throw. So he actually whiffs his throw, he gets his emperor punch, hit confirm super. Gets his parry, keeps him cornered. Yun jumps out, just gets thrown back in. So when Yakkun is dive kicking on him, he's actually hitting him a lot. But he's not dive kicking a whole lot in this matchup in general. It's mostly neutral jumps, it's mostly target combos, and sometimes, jumping fierce punch, jumping fierce kick. So he started the last round by jumping forward and dive kicking. He still doesn't have meter here. He's close, so I would be backing off if I was the Yun in this particular situation, because you want to get as much meter as possible, and he is in DED range. So if he gets his crouching medium kick, he will get super. So he goes for the light punch shoulder, which I said is an option, and then jumps forward. Doesn't get his short super because you can only get 2 shorts in that situation, as Yun was standing, and not crouching. Throw tech, and then they're back at neutral. Yun is going to try and continue to push forward in this situation because even though he's about to get meter, so is he. And he wants to activate as soon as possible, and he's in DED range. So if he crouching medium kicks after he dashes like this, he should be at perfect range to get his super immediately, even if it's blocked. And that's what you want. So he gets dashed in on and jumps the dash, doesn't punish on the way down, gets thrown. Back thrown so that he's cornered again. So at this range, he can goaltend the Yun. The Yun's not going to activate when he's in the corner because it's very disadvantageous to do so. So he's probably going to try and space and wait for him to come in and try and jump out. His only other option is to wait for a throw mix-up and then, um, go for a break. So he backs off when he's goaltending. Hi, Triton. So he's goaltending. He's trying to make the Yun make a mistake. And if the Yun whiffs a dive kick at the wrong range, he's just going to get crouching medium kick into DP. He's not going to go for super because he only has one bar, and he's not one set play away from getting another super. So there's no reason to super at this point. So we'll see how it goes down. He whiffs his dive kick, and it's in Ken's throw range, so Ken, at this particular situation, should be throwing, as it's his fastest thing to do. So he does try to throw, but gets thrown anyway. Yun goes forward and activate, and now he's going to get his set play. So he gets cross up into crouching light kick, standing medium kick, dash under. So he's going to get a full combo into an ender. Very basic combo. Misses his Kara. So now he's jumping forward, which confuses me because that means that he's probably empty jumping or trying to dive kick over him. And because he quick rised, he's not going to be able to get a dive kick into an actual combo. But he crouched. He got his, I believe, light kick, crossover dive kick. And then he gets, that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be a 6-hit combo. Yep, he actually gets the combo. Crosses up, is close to meter. So now all his goal is to try and get meter as fast as possible. He needs about 2 or 3 blocked medium attacks, a single blocked fierce attack, a single hit fierce attack, or something into shoulder. So he goes for a delayed medium punch shoulder, and he gets about half the meter that he needs. Ken can punish it with super, but again, he doesn't have enough meter that would allow him to make the most of it. He is also up 1 round, so he can afford to not really punish in this situation. Again, he doesn't punish. Goes for medium pick. Yun's going to run away and try and get the last of that meter. Instead, he goes in. He's going to try and not use meter now because he has such a huge life lead. There's no reason for him to be using his meter because he only has about 10% gone, right? So he has 90% of a life bar to work with, and he only has 1 super. He needs at least 4 set plays in order to win at this particular juncture. So he'll save the meter and try to win without it. Stupid video quality. Alright. Again, trying to just pressure him. But in the meantime, Ken has gotten to the point where he can super pretty much anything that he wants. And 2 supers will win him the round and the game. So 1, 2, 3. I don't know if he tried to go for shoulder, but in that particular instance, it's probably not smart. It's going to put him back into neutral. Because he can block that, gets the punish. That's also the best punish possible in that situation. Because it gives you the most meter. Although he does have max meter, just general rule of thumb, crouching medium kick and fierce kick up kicks is probably the best that you can get as far as meter gain from a blocked Ken super, a blocked Chun super, etc. There are better options depending on the situation, but that is the best option in that particular situation and similar. So again, he has meter, he has DED. So he's going to either try and activate and then go in, or he's going to try and get close, get something blocked, and then activate. Activates right away. Now, when he activates here, the only things that he can do are shoulder, dash punch, walk forward, and jump, right? So Ken is jumping since he has superior air to air, even during Ganejin. Um, he does have EX meter if he needs to burn it, and Yun looks like he's about to be dive kicking. So he dive kicks and gets hit with jumping roundhouse. Um, and again, you see, like I told you from the first round or the first game, Ken is throwing out the fireball in order to make it so that Yun is forced to jump, and it eats a little bit of time. It hits him, and then he's going to run away and let the rest of the meter wear itself out or force him to do something stupid like dash punch. He gets the two parries, and then he gets his going for his normal poking, misses a punish. He's cornered, he has no meter. The Ken is not in any danger here. So he has enough meter to start going forward again. Hits dive kick at a wrong range, so he's going to run away and try to build meter. And now it's the cat and mouse game again. Goes for dash punch, and dash punch gets thrown. He back throws him on purpose. The Ken back throws him because he eats the most time during Ganejin. And again, he immediately does EX Hado because it forces him to, again, eat more time. About a whole second for pairing two of them. And again, runs away. Yun gets a throw. Again, he's outside of throw range for Ken, so he has a couple options. Ken backdashes himself into the corner and sticks out a poke, which kind of makes sense because he can just sort of turtle and wait for Yun since Yun doesn't have any meter, and it forces Yun to play in this space if he stays himself in the corner. If he lets Yun just run away and tries to chase him, it's not going to really go too well. He gets out, forces Yun into the corner. Yun throws out a dash punch. Doesn't get punished for it. Buffer. So again, you'll notice that a lot of the dive kicks that he's doing are not either not hitting at all, or they're 100% hitting here, right? Because if they're not, then you're just going to get punished for them. Because your only options after you hit them in the shoulder, you hit them in the arm, or any other position on their body is throw or jump. And usually, Ken will get more out of it than you will. And if you're forced to jump, he can just, jump fierce kick, jump EX Tatsu, depending on his meter, etc. So we have the interesting portion of the start of the round, where they both don't have meter. Again, he usually is going forward. So let's see if he decides to do the same thing. Nope, backs up. Okay, so he does that shoulder, but he does it a little early. He knows that Ken's most likely going to jump, or poke into a range where he's going to be whiffing. So if he pokes into the range, the shoulder will beat the poke. And if he jumps at a particular height, the shoulder will beat that as well. So he gets back thrown, and this is already a bad situation because it forces him into, you have to either block, throw, guard jump, and more than likely is going to try to be guard jumping out or waiting for Ken to distance himself to where he can jump safely. So that was a very poorly placed dive kick. It hits him, and you'll notice that he immediately re-jumps because it did hit him high. He does fierce kick, which I think was an attempt to do a backwards dive kick, but he wasn't far enough over the character model to make it work. So he's going to land, and he's probably going to get thrown back in the corner. Opts to keep him mid-screen for some reason. Goes for medium punch, fierce punch. Doesn't go for medium punch, fierce punch. Medium punch, walk back, crouching medium kick, and catches him with it. Gets his cross up. So when Ken gets his cross up, Yun's kind of screwed. And so are a lot of the cast, because no one really has an answer for it, because he can just poke you with medium punch or crouching light kick and then wait to see what you do, and then make a reaction based on that. Or he can backdash and be safe. Um, or honestly, he can just throw. So he goes for the tick. He's in perfect range to walk forward throw, crouching medium kick, etc. Emperor punch, standing fierce kick. Yun jumps it and punishes. He is not going to get a proper punish because he only hits him with the dive kick, but it does give him 13% meter for hitting him. So now he's probably going to run away or try to throw him back in the corner. So again, he hits him in the chest area and he gets punished for it because he parries it high enough. Gets the crouching medium kick into DP. He has so low life that he doesn't really need to use the meter if he doesn't want to. But on the other hand, because his life is so low and his meter is so high, it is possible for Yun to come back, but it's very unlikely. So Ken's not doing anything to risk his life lead. He's mostly just standing still, pushes him into the corner, plays his goaltending. He's going to get activated on. Misses his combo red parries and punishes. So when you're playing good players, a lot of the time you really have to watch out for red parries for shoulders. You have to watch out for red parries for 1-2-3, 1-2-3 shoulder. It's part of the game, right? If you're playing Ken and I'm Yun and I red parry your target combo, you're gonna think twice about doing it again, or you're going to add a DP and force me to double parry and see if I'm willing to adapt that way. So round 2, Yun has no meter, Ken has 2. I have no idea what that was for. Gets punished for the most meter possible. It's about 23%. Goes for a mix-up. Doesn't get a punish on the standing fierce kick because you can super that. Again, goes for a mix-up, walk back, emperor punch, gets thrown for it. So Yun's keeping him cornered, trying to stop him from jumping forward. Again, there's the EX fireball. It's a very important tool in making sure that when Yun actually has his Ganejin, if he blocks or gets hit with a crouching medium kick, you want him to stay down or pushed away as long as possible. So of those 7 seconds, you're eating 2, just from that one thing. So now he tries to go forward, forces a forward fierce punch, which could have been parried because of that range. And then he's going to walk forward, try to go for a normal throw at this point, in my opinion, but he's at a range where command throw will hit. Walks back. So he baits the throw, doesn't punish. Ken jumps out. At this point, has to throw, more than likely. Gets thrown. Goes for a dash punch to get close so that he doesn't have to dive kick. Just showing some variety in the way that he approaches his downed opponent. He quick rises, so Yun is at a point where he can be thrown because their shadows are touching. Lands before anything, hits his fierce punch. Is going to end up getting about 20% meter for that hitting. Parries that, but doesn't properly punish. At that range, crouching medium kick, medium punch into up kicks would have been superior, or standing medium into dash punch, or standing medium into shoulder. Because he was very high up when he got that parry. So that was a very poor punish. I understand what he wanted to do. He wanted 1-2-3 into shoulder because it possibly would have given him enough meter, but probably not. Actually, no. There's no way that would have given him enough meter. He would have needed another block string. Hits Emperor punched, misses is confirmed. Hits him perfectly. Because he was crouching there, he could have followed up with crouching medium punch or standing light kick into dash punch, but again, he does not react to it. Gets thrown for it. tries to guard jump out. The first hit of the strong fierce hits him, puts him in that same situation. Because of the spacing, he does crouching light kick into dash punch, where if Ken parries the crouching light kick, the dash punch will not come out. If he blocks it or it hits, the dash punch will come out. So he is very much hoping that the Ken is not blocking low in that particular situation, that he wants to continue pressuring. Goes for shoulder instead of dash punch. I don't understand that. But I mean, I guess the same concept works, where you can buffer it. But he does have meter now, but he doesn't cancel into Ganajin, so he's still cornered. And he's literally just sitting under the timer, making sure that Yun cannot do anything. Trades. Activates. So it's a force activation. If he jumps, Ken can EX Tatsu. So he has to approach on the ground. Which is still dangerous because at this range, the only things that can hit him is walk forward, standing fierce punch, forward fierce punch, Kara crouching medium kick, and shoulder. And dash punch, obviously. But dash punch is easily parryable. Shoulder is easily parryable. So preemptively thinking that he's going to shoulder or something, he supers. It's going to get blocked. He does standing medium kick, dashes under to continue. Gets his combo and kills him for it. That was a very risky super. So again, he's trying to make it so that he jumps forward and tries to... Ken is going to want to go forward at this point. He's not going to want to keep too much space because he doesn't have meter. So that's why he does standing medium kick. He does standing medium kick to stop a jump if he wishes to jump at the beginning of the round. It also stops him from dashing. So he tries to jump, gets crouching medium punched for it, neutral jumps. Ken doesn't have very many good neutral jump options, but the Yun did whiff a throw. It's command throw. So he lands, the backdashes out of range. Because he did move forward with this, crouching medium kick probably wouldn't have hit during the backdash. Gets whiff punishes that with crouching medium kick into super, and now he's one set play away from, or one throw, or one anything away from getting meter again and forcing the same sort of situations. So he pushes him back in the corner. He's probably going to stay around mid-screen again because he doesn't have any meter. He can't really contest like what with Ken's strength of buttons, right? So when Ken is here, he can walk forward standing medium kick, walk forward standing fierce kick. He can walk back, and Yun couldn't be able to dive kick out. If he walks back a little, if Yun does jump forward and dive kick, he can parry it properly because he'll have enough time to react. So he opts to immediately jump forward. He goes for a crouching move and is probably going to have fierce kick, dive kick go over him. Nope. Neutral jump, lands, gets back thrown. So he whiffs the crouching, or the jumping fierce kick so that when he lands, Yun is forced to throw. Because at that particular distance, you can't trip guard Ken. Hits Yun trying to dash in. I don't understand why he would dash in. Goes for command throw, gets normal thrown for it, put back in the corner, neutral. So Ken tries to go back in, but Yun gets out with a dash punch. When Yun is cornered, if a Ken forward jumps at you, most likely you can get out with light punch, dash punch. Especially if he is jumping from like here. Because you can't be crossed up in the corner. Okay. So he spaces his medium kick, dive kick correctly. He should be able to get his follow-up. Just runs away instead and is going to activate because he's safe mid-screen. So at this point, because he's so far away, let's again EX Hudo. So because he's so far away, his only options are to jump, which can be met with jumping fierce kick or EX. So jumping is bad. He can try and whiff light punch, dash punch. He can try and shoulder and try and hope to go under the Hado that he thinks is coming. So he goes for the shoulder, goes under the Hado. He's going to get his combo. Goes for a very simple combo into a reset. Um, because Ken does have meter and Yun is at a life deficit, going for a reset is kind of important because you want to get as much meter as possible. And because he reset him with 30% meter, he should be able to get 40 to 50% out of a proper ender. Misses his dash punch, but if the dash punch hit, it would have put him right around 50%. He gets 30% anyway. Hits him with a dive kick, that's another 13%, another 13%, another 13%, crosses up, runs away. Again, he's trying to make sure that he's not getting in contact with him because he has the life lead. So he's going to run away until he gets meter, and then he'll activate and go forward. But Ken is not stupid. Because he knows he's going to continue to jump away or dash away, he's dashing forward and crouching medium kicking, trying to catch his dash. His back dash, I should say. Gets his activation. Does standing medium punch into light kick to Kara forward a little bit, and then jumps after him. Because he jumped backwards, he can't really EX, so he's going to be forced to jump fierce kick. Yun's going to land as he's jumping, so he will get a chance to hit him on his way down. So because he sees that he jumped, he shouldn't be pressing anything. He should be waiting for the Yun to try to hit him on his way down. So he lands. Yun's at perfect range for stand fierce punch, crouch fierce, medium kick, forward fierce punch, shoulder, dash punch. Goes for far standing medium punch. Kara again is doing standing light kick because standing light kick and crouching light kick are plus 13. So he's trying to go for a command throw just to secure the victory. But he's going to walk back and force him into the corner and force them to try to either regular throw him or do something else because he's not going to give them the command throw for free. He tries to do the normal throw, doesn't get whiff punished for it. EX out of the corner because that's pretty much his best choice. He's so low that he doesn't want to be cornered by Yun because if Yun backs off, he just has to press one wrong button and then he's dead. So Yun can play patient now. He can move forward when he needs to. But because Ken had more than 50%, he has to go forward in order for him to make the most of his resources. So Yun wants to fill the gap for if he's going to try and dash in, which is what he does, and he hits his target combo. And also, like I said earlier, Boss's secondary character is Yun, or one of his secondary characters is Yun. So he knows this matchup from both ends of the stick. So he's more apt to be able to properly deal with Yun's tools because he knows exactly where he wants to be and why. That's another thing. That's another reason why a lot of people have pocket Kens and pocket high tier characters, is because it's good to see both sides of the stick from hard matchups. And some of Yun's hardest matchups are actually the top tier characters as well. So Ken Jun, so a lot of Yuns play those characters as secondaries. Yakkun's secondary though is Necro, so that doesn't really apply. But because Ken is such a linear character, and after 17 years of the game, you kind of know what his options are. especially after he crosses you up and all that stuff. That doesn't mean you can deal with it. You're forced into blocking. Um, but, you know, just understanding what his options are and then seeing what their tendencies are for those options are very important. So he goes for the shoulder again and gets beat out by standing fierce kick. I believe he went for a medium punch shoulder that time, as opposed to a light punch. So neutral, Ken jumps first, so he can actually fierce kick, hits him. And now Yun's going to try and jump out more than likely, so he's going to either fierce kick or medium kick to keep him grounded. So he does fierce kick, and he's still in the corner. Yun whiffs his crouching medium kick. I don't understand why, but maybe to try and whiff punish it, but in my experience, I've never been able to whiff punish it. So he does crouching fierce kick, and Yun does the wrong dive kick to punish it. But he's going to get a throw for it because he's still recovering. Or should have. He walk backs. He makes him think that he's going to throw, walks back, baits it, and then does crouching medium punch into dash punch. Gets 20% meter for his trouble. Jumps in, empty jump, trying to parry DP or whatever he decides to do. So now Ken gets his cross up set up. Yun doesn't quick rise, so he doesn't get the cross up setup. So, a perfect example of understanding when to quick rise and when to not quick rise is against Urian as Yun. If Urian throws you forward while he's cornered, and you quick rise, he can double dash and he'll dash over your corpse, and he'll be able to crouching fierce punch you as you're getting up on the other side. It's very hard to block. He can also change his dash timing so that he lands on the front of you. So instead of giving him a secondary aspect to his okizeme, you want to make him earn whatever he's going to get on your wake up, so you stay grounded. So that's the same sort of situation here. Is he got DP'd. He knows that if Ken is going to jump forward for his cross-up shenanigans, if he stays grounded, the forward will not hit. He'll still be grounded. So the Ken didn't do any frame kills before he jumped, so he wasn't able to react to that properly. But in that situation, it probably isn't best to do frame kills, because if the Yun sees that, then he can quick rise. It's a game of cat and mouse. So he misses his cross-up opportunity, and now they're both in range for throw, which is their fastest move. So let's see what they do. He wakes up into a standing medium punch. Again, now Ken is at advantage. Since we are going over a matchup, I should probably have the frame data up for Ken. My apologies. Alright, so close standing strong on block is going to be +2. So anything that Yun does, I'm sorry, +1. So anything that Yun does at that point is going to end up getting beat by what Ken does. So he ends up getting hit low because at that point he can jump over again and cross up. He can walk forward, throw. So my guess is that he was going to stand tech, but again, if you think your opponent's going to throw, you should just jump. So I'm not quite sure why he got hit there, but in that exact situation, the only way that Ken can super you is with back medium kick, and that's pretty easily reactable. He has meter for EX up kicks too. So if you see that your opponent is doing back medium kick, you can literally just EX up kick and it will hit it. Again, he's dashing over his corpse, which is not always advantageous, but if they don't quick rise, you can get away with it. Whiffs his throw, gets thrown for his trouble. Now he's cornered. He literally needs anything into a blocked shoulder, and then he has skin agent. Throw break gives him about another 3% meter. He whiffs this. You can actually dash punch that on reaction. Just not really reaction, but well, it has to be on reaction. But you can space yourself just like a Hugo standing medium punch, Chun standing fierce punch, among some other things like far standing fierce kick with Urian, among other things. Like they're all dash punchable because they have long recovery times. So Roundhouse has a recovery of 19 frames, and it has a 11 frame startup. So you have 19 frames to get your 7 frame move to hit him. It's a long time, and the hitbox goes out pretty far. So he tries to jump out of the corner, gets hit for it, follows up again. He doesn't quick rise because then it's easier for Yun to start his pressure with standing medium punch, crouch light kick, or standing fierce punch. So it forces Yun to wait before he gets his pressure. Again, he's staying grounded, forcing time to go away from the Gin agent. Gets a hit, is going to get about 30% meter. Yep. Okay, so at that particular range, right, we're going to go back a second. Okay, so when you dash punch someone, you are at a perfect range where you are out of their throw. Unless it's Chun and they carrot throw you or something. So, I mean, your best option is to try and bait their throw at that point, right? Or alternatively, Yun has the option to walk forward and be just in range for close standing medium kick. But if you mistime it, you can get thrown. So he whiffs a button to try and kill some frames for it, and then walks forward 1 step and goes for standing medium kick, and he gets thrown out of it. If he had not done the crouching medium punch and just walked up and did it, it would have been meaty. Gets back thrown. Again, Ken can't cross him up. He stays grounded, forces Ken to make a decision. Ken's not going to jump in that particular situation because, like I said, if Yun gets up, he can just dash punch out. So he's going to stay grounded, and he's going to stay at a position where standing medium punch, crouching light kick, and throw and back medium kick will all hit. He goes for crouching light punch, light kick, hit confirm into super. He's going to get the kill. Again, I apologize for the video quality. Okay, so because he does have meter, he's going to want to go forward. So he had already tried throwing out the shoulder against Boss. So Boss beat it with standing fierce kick. So again, this is what players call Yomi pretty much. The mind games within the mind games. So he's taken the information that he already knows, right? He's already been beaten at the beginning of the round with his trademark opener, or one of his trademark openers. So instead, he jumped forward, delay, light kick, dive kick. Because he does that, that would have beaten him dashing. It would have beaten his standing fierce kick, or pretty much anything else that he throws out at the beginning of the round. And if he doesn't do anything, and he just sort of sits there, it puts him at a position where he still whiffs. And he's not at a disadvantage. So he gets his standing medium kick, and he pushes him into the corner. He has activation, so my guess is that he either activates right off the bat, which is probably the best option, since you just did get a knockdown, or he'll go for crouching medium kick and to activate. So we get pure activation, but he's still out of range. He's forced to walk forward or jump. So he jumps forward, whiffs light kick, dive kick, and goes for 4 medium kick. He gets DP'd for it. The video quality is terrible. So he blocks the standing medium punch and then crouch leg kick forward fierce. He's gonna get shoulder, forward fierce dash punch, shoulder shoulder forward fierce dash punch. Because the shoulder hit while he was engaging, he gets one more shoulder afterward before he gets his forward fierce. So it's medium punch, forward fierce dash punch. So this time he's at the same range from his dash punch. He whiffs, then he walks forward into that same range. He then goes for crouching leg kick, which pushes him far enough away that he cannot be thrown. So he walks forward, he walks into a standing medium punch. If he wants any good pokes at that point, he has to walk forward for standing medium punch. He has to walk forward for close standing medium kick. His only options at that range are standing fierce punch, crouching medium kick, crouching fierce kick, crouching fierce punch, or medium punch, trying to like bait Ken to press something. But he walks into something and he gets back thrown for his trouble. Again, Ken double dashes because it forces Yun to quick get up. And if he doesn't, then it gives Ken a proper meaty setup. Throw tech. So with that particular option, again, like I was saying, the options are basically throw, standing medium punch, walk back, or crouching leg kick. You don't really want to be doing crouching medium kick that close because on block, Yun can actually standing leg kick, like, frame perfect punish. So you can get standing leg kick into dash punch. So they're back to neutral. He's going to try and keep Yun cornered because he doesn't have meter yet. His goal is just to get meter by whatever cost. He's at a life lead. So he doesn't really care if he takes a hit as long as it doesn't lead to super. So he dashes, which is interesting because Ken could have just DP'd it. But Ken's walking back trying to build space. So when Ken is walking back like that, when he dashes, it does a screen shift. So it changes the positioning on the screen, so it's a little easier for him to get out of corner pressure. That might have been his thought process there. So Yakkun likes to get out of the corner as fast as possible. He doesn't really sit still unless he feels he's forced to, like against a Yang or against him after a throw or after a DP in the corner. Like, if he's just in the corner, he's going to try to get out. So, like I was saying in that situation, he tries to jump forward and do fierce kick, but he does it as a point where he's trying to whiff and land dash. Land throw. And because he's trying to whiff it to give himself proper positioning when he lands, Yun's able to dash punch under his whiffed button. So now Ken is cornered, but Yun doesn't have pressure. So Ken has no reason not to jump out, or not to attempt to jump out. Yun has to jump jump fierce kick immediately, or jump back fierce punch to try and beat out EX hurricane kick. Or neutral jump and try to bait out the EX hurricane kick, because EX hurricane will get him out for sure. And it's not very likely to be punished. So he gets jump forward medium kick and puts Yun in a block stun. Again, here he has throw, standing medium punch, crouching leg kick, dash back. So he has a lot of options. He goes for standing medium punch again, which standing medium punch is +2 on hit. So anything that Yun presses is going to get eaten. So he immediately does crouching medium punch, which is 5 frames, or 6 frames I should say, startup. So if Yun presses standing light kick even, because it's 2 frames, they'll trade. And he has meter, so he can just super, even off trade. So he's forced to block, and he tries to dash up again to do it. because crouching medium punch puts your opponent at, yeah, on block, it's +3, crouching strong. So it gives you perfect timing for dashing up or dashing back and trying to go for throw or another button. So he jumps out, but he neutral jumps. He doesn't try to do fierce kick, dive kick, which is probably the better option at that point. Because he's going to want to try to get away to activate his meter, right? Um, but because he neutral jumped, Ken is forced to throw, essentially. Because if he doesn't throw, he doesn't have anything fast enough to beat Yun if he does throw. And because he's already cornered, he doesn't want to be forward thrown. So he's going to tech. He also has jump, but like I said before, neutral jump against Yun is probably not that great. So they tech, and Yun's going to run away and build meter. So because he thinks he's going to run away and backdash, he immediately throws a regular fireball to stop it, or to stop a jump. And then he throws EX fireball to try to buy him some time to move forward before he gets Ganejin. He whiffs one button and then jumps away. Um, he's going to land on the fireball, so he's forced to parry. But if Ken wants a follow up, he's going to have to EX Hurricane after a super jump or just dash up. So he opts for the dash up. He gets all of his dashes, and it's going to put him at a range where Yun is landing on him, right? So again, Yun has to deal with the three-way option. He can even EX regular Fierce Punch DP right here, which would not be a bad option. But Yun, because he parried and didn't press any buttons, can press a button on the way down. And since Ken dashed 3 times instead of twice, he's still at -6 for his dash. We just make sure that is actually the case before I am misinforming you. So his forward dash is 17 frames of recovery. But it's 25 frames for the full animation. So you have a long time, essentially, to press a button. It seems faster, but it's really not. But again, rule of thumb is that anything that you don't feel comfortable punishing with should not be, you know, more than 5 or 6 frames for a dash. So he backs up, gets Ganejin, and is walking him down. In case he jumps forward, he does forward medium kick. In case he blocks low, he does forward medium kick. So now he tries to do Kara forward fierce to hit him, but he backdashes. And now they're at neutral, so Yun has to walk forward. None of his pokes can hit at this range, really. So he has to walk forward standing fierce punch into shoulder, is the most likely candidate, or walk forward crouching medium kick into forward fierce. So he just opts to sit there instead. He walks forward, whiffs one thing, and now he needs to take one step to be able to command grab. He goes forward, crouching light kick, and then he goes for a trade. Or he goes for the medium kick. But because Ken did crouching medium kick, the Yun's standing medium kick beats it. So we'll take a look at that real quick. In Ganejin, close standing medium kick has 5 frames of startup. Ken's crouching forward has 7 frames of startup, so it beats it by 1 frame because I misspoke. It's 6 frames, um, not 5 frames for his standing medium kick. So here he's doing multiple standing medium kicks at the end to try and get as much meter as possible, because if he kills him, he still wants to have as much meter as he can for next round. So he's going to get his dash punch, and he's going to put himself at the range where he has a bunch of options. He has walk forward throw, walk forward command throw, walk forward standing medium kick, walk forward crouching light kick, stay where he is, crouching light kick, stay where he is, standing medium punch, fierce punch. He can super jump and then land a medium kick or a fierce kick dive kick at a range which can probably not be punished. Um, he also has universal overhead at this range, which would connect to standing light kick into dash punch, among some other things. So he whiffs. Again, he's trying to go for meter. So he whiffs and he tries to bait his opponent to do something. He successfully gets him to think that he's going to walk forward throw or do something, and he gets DP. He's going to make sure that he gets the most meter out of it, so he punishes DP with crouching medium punch into up kicks, and you'll notice that now he has almost full meter. So again, he has almost full meter, so he's going to want to try to get in. Ken also doesn't mind if he gets in because he does have meter of his own. But because he's going to have activation pretty soon, and he does have 2 stocks, he has enough to throw 2 EX fireballs without really worrying about being out of range of being able to get super again. So he can eat up a lot of the time. So if I was the Yun in this particular situation, I would be running away to get this meter, because it's only about 4 whiff pokes, 5 whiff pokes. It's maybe 1 blocked shoulder away. So he goes for dive kick, I assume. And he probably goes for EX up kicks thinking that he's going to jump dive kick. They both mess up and get normal hurricane kick and jump light kick. Light kick gets beat. He's cornered now, and now he immediately guard jumps out. Super jumps out. He's probably going to probably going to dive kick away. He does so successfully. Neutral jumps. At this particular distance, you want to do standing fierce punch to beat out the starting animation of EX Hurricane, and also possibly to trade with jump fierce kick. So he's super jumping and he's higher than him. He can still probably hit him with fierce kick, but Yun does neutral jump, medium punch on the way down, hits him, gets his Ganejin, activates. So Ken knows that once he jumps, he has to dive kick in. Because of the range that he's at, if he jumps forward, or he super jumps, if he super jumps, he's not likely to do light kick, dive kick. He's likely to try to hit you in the shins, which would be with medium kick, dive kick at that particular positioning. So he does ghetto uppercut, more than likely. I don't think he does regular uppercut. I think he does down fierce. And instead, Yun neutral jumped, parries it, and is going to get a punish. He messes up what he should have done, I believe. Yep. So he hits him with light punch. He wanted to hit light punch, fierce punch, because he was too low, he couldn't hit the target combo. So he tries to salvage it with crouching light kick, thinking that he may try to throw, but he just blocks. So after forward fierce punch, you're required to walk forward or shoulder in order to maintain your distance to your opponent that's pretty much safe for you to get command grab. Or you can just walk forward and press medium punch or crouching light kick at a range where you think they'll whiff. So he walks into the correct range for command throw. So he's probably going to tick once and go for command throw. Nope. Thinks that he's going to do crouching medium kick at that range and walk forward and tries to beat it with a standing forward of his own. He stand blocks it somehow. And again, goes for command grabs, going to get it. Does not get a follow-up, but he does get Okizeme. So, let's back it up. 4 seconds. So, he's going to get his throw, right? He gets his up kicks. And now we're going to look to see if he neutral jumps or if he forward jumps to see what his options are. Okay, so he jumps forward. So his options here are if he quick rolls, he can medium punch or medium kick, dive kick, and that'll hit him at a perfect range to try and do crouching medium punch or standing light kick into dash punch. He can try to delay and then do fierce kick, dive kick to go over him and try to run away. Um, or he can jump at him and try to do medium kick, jumping fierce kick, or jumping fierce punch. Dive kicks over him, and now he's quick get up. So he's going to either try to throw him on his wake up, or he's going to try to meaty him with standing medium punch, standing medium kick, or crouching medium kick. Opts to block, Ken does standing fierce punch for some reason on wake up, which kind of confuses me. The only time that that would be good is if he thinks he's going to jump. So he does standing medium punch and or standing fierce punch, and then immediately does crouching medium punch, thinking that he's going to be in range to hit Yun, but Yun just super jumps, goes for a dive kick. Um, so Yun's head. Oh crap. Yun's head was here, and it puts him to the point where if he hits him, it's going to hit him in his legs. Um, which puts him in perfect positioning if it's blocked to do throw or command throw, because he is plus in that very particular situation. It's the same range that he was at before, where Ken parried it and tried to go for crouching medium kick and missed, or missed the timing of it, or was not able to, period. He gets command throw into dash punch. Now, he's trying to get as much distance away as he can from the corner. That's why he didn't do up kicks, because this way he actually has space to work with if he wants to run away and build meter. And because he's so close to building his meter, that might be the way that his train of thought. Otherwise, he has Okizeme that is worse than you can get from up kicks. So he jumps or dashes forward and goes for. He apparently had less meter than I thought he did because of the way that it worked. Um, but he dashes forward and gets super for the dash because Yun's dash is very slow. So again, same situation. He super jumps up, whiffs the button, and he's gonna land in front. But because Yun crouched, he landed on the other side. So he would be cornered if he stays there, and Yun has perfect positioning for great gatekeeping, so immediately jumps up and tries to EX Hurricane to get out and build space. Yun misses his punish of crouching medium kick into dash punch, gets shoulder. Does not activate off the shoulder. Backdashes will activate. And now he's going to probably walk him down. Yep. Tries to dash up. He doesn't do a proper setup for making sure that he can get command grab. Crouching leg kick is plus 13, but you need a little bit more of a setup in order to get your command grab if your opponent is thinking that you're desperate. So he just guesses and throws. Again, he has meter still. He throws Hadouken to make him block or parry, which eats time. Parries, jumps away. So now by the time that Yun can do anything, he'll only be about mid-screen, and Ken is going to be completely safe. So he dashes forward to try and put him at a space where he can jump forward again, or run away, or just build meter, because he's at a safe distance from Ken, where Ken can't do anything without pressing forward. Misses a dive kick. Again, almost all of his dive kicks whiff, except for ones that he's aiming at his legs. And those are very few and far between, because like I was saying, Ken has meter, so he doesn't want to give him the opportunity to punish him if he does misdistance the dive kick. Because all it takes is Ken walking forward or back one step to screw up the distancing, and he can get punished for super. And super would put him to about here. So he would just need one throw and he's dead. So they throw break and it puts him back in neutral. Gives him perfect positioning for crouching medium kick, so Yun is forced to block low or get hit and then die. So Yakkun is very offensive. He likes to push forward even in instances where it doesn't seem like he should be. There have been plenty of times where he could have ran away, but he just tried to continue pressure, even at life deficits, which is a little bit confusing to me. But like I said, he's not dive kicking in at distances that would make him uh, be too punished for it. He tries to wait to the last possible second when dive kicking to make sure that his opponent isn't going to be able to trip guard him. So again, walk back, jump forward by both players. He hits him with medium kick, and then he's able to land and combo. So he jumps over. He's almost cornering himself. But he knows that Yun is that one of the best options after that is tick throw. So again, he's done this 3 or 4 times to Yakkun already, which I'm surprised that he hasn't just started blocking. But he walks back and does crouching medium kick. It is going to beat the throw, and then he'll be able to DP. And then he gets the same setup. I'm guessing that he doesn't quick roll. He does quick roll, but he didn't jump that time. So again, he's going to get the same setup. He's going to get standing medium punch into whatever he wants, because unless Yun immediately parry throws, he also gets the same setup off of crouching light kick. So it's literally guessing twice, it's a 50-50. So he goes for crouching light kick, light kick, light kick, which builds enough space um, where crouching light kick is -4 on block, but because of the pushback, he can walk back and hope that Yun presses crouching medium kick and punish with crouching medium kick of his own. See, he waited for Yun to press something and whiff punished him with sweep. So that's another dive kick that hits at a very improper positioning, but it was a punish to him pressing the fierce kick. So he gets 13% meter for every time that he hits him, which is very important. So it's why you'll see sometimes a lot of Yuns will just like jump at you and dive kick on your face, because very few people are going to DP, and if you're guessing that your opponent is going to DP, you can just neutral jump parry. But he immediately backs off and throws out a button to fill the gap at which Ken would have to move. He'd have to jump, or he would have to dash, because he wasn't close enough for standing fierce kick to hit, and he would be out of range for crouching fierce kick or crouching medium kick. Whiffs his shoulder, and now he's very close to Ganejin. So he threw out the medium punch there because he thought that Ken was going to dash. He just misdistanced the space at which Ken was at. So if Ken was a little bit closer and he dashed just like that, he would have hit him. But now that he whiffed that, he might be able to whiff punish. Nope. Yun, he tries to whiff punish with crouching medium kick, and Yun just jumps and bops on his head again. Now he has Ganejin. So because it was a very bad dive kick, Yun's only options again are to throw or to jump. So he jumps forward, and now he's going to backwards medium fierce kick dive kick to build space, and then he'll activate. See? He tries to chase him with crouching medium kick, which would have worked if he did medium kick dive kick, but obviously you're going to do the one that's the furthest away from your opponent. He doesn't want to activate there because Ken can walk forward crouching medium kick into super. So he just jumps forward. Ken's going to hit him with fierce kick, I believe, medium kick on the way down. Same situation as before. Misses 1-2. And now Yun is in a block state for proximity guard. Immediately goes low. Gets his dash punch. Gets his activation. So he's going to go for standing fierce punch loop because it pushes him towards the corner. And that's the ideal position that you want against Ken or anyone, is you want them in the corner. And if you space out your high punch loop, you can actually force your opponent to miss a parry and get hit by your Fierce Punch. And the last thing they'll want to do is be hit in a counter hit state because I believe when you miss a parry, you are in counter hit state. So you're going to end up taking extra damage if you actually get hit by the standing medium or the standing Fierce Punch. In which case you can confirm into shoulder or you can confirm into another Fierce Punch. So again, Fierce Punch doesn't lead to a whole lot, so he tries to get close again. He thinks that he's going to block low, so he goes for overhead. He blocks high. He's at perfect positioning at that point to do carry universal overhead, but it's not something that he does very often. He is at perfect range to do standing Fierce Punch or crouching medium kick. Again, he tries to waste his meter by doing crouching medium kick into EX, but it just so happens that Yun is actually not blocking. He gets hit for it. But forward medium kick with Yun is actually relatively negative, I believe. Let's open up another page. Go to frame data. Yun. Canadian normals. Okay. So forward and yeah, so block advantage is -4. So Yun, even if he does standing light kick, is still going to be it's still going to require 7 frames. And crouching medium kick in that particular instance is going to come out in 6 frames, I believe. So it's 1 frame faster than even his standing light kick would be. Because his standing light kick in Ganadian is going to be 3 frames. 4 frames. Crouching light kick is 3 frames. So even if he does crouching light kick, it's still going to get beat. If he does anything, it's going to get beat by the crouching medium kick in that particular instance. So after a blocked forward forward medium kick, Ken can afford to do crouching medium kick into EX Hado like he just did. But Yun can also down parry. So, I mean, it's kind of risky if the Yun knows that you're capable of doing that. But that's really the only thing at that distance that would hit him, because your crouching roundhouse, I believe, is 11 frames. Nope, crouching roundhouse is 7 frames. I was wrong. Crouching roundhouse and crouching forward have the exact same startup, just longer recoveries for each one. Block advantage is also -14 for roundhouse. So, again, tries to light kick, dive kick, but because he light kick, dive kicked, and Ken was still in the air, he can cross up. So he gets the cross up, but it's not a cross up that will combo, but he still builds space with medium punch, fierce punch. And again, medium punch, fierce punch with that is... So the fierce punch from that is going to end up being -2. So you can't really do anything. But at that range, the only button that Ken can really press is crouching medium kick or crouching medium punch, which both are going to be 6 or 7 frames. So there'll be 8 or 9 frames after that. So Yun can pretty much press whatever he wants, and Ken will just have to parry. But he jumps. Tries to catch a dash with medium punch shoulder, and then he does standing medium kick. And that's one of Ken's traps, is he gets option parry after that. So he option parries forward, gets the parry, but doesn't throw. he doesn't really get any punish off the parry. So he misses crouching medium punch into super. Again, gets the cross up, this time opts for crouching light kicks instead of close standing medium punch. Because Yun is crouching, he gets 3 crouching light kicks. And again, he doesn't walk forward when he super jumps. He just super jumps, whiffs it, and lands in front. If he walks forward before he super jumps and whiffs it, then he'll land on the other side. Hit confirms with crouching medium kick into fireball super. So both Kenzo and Yakkun are laughing about that. So Yun starts to back off this time. So he tries to, thinking that Ken is going to jump, he does a preemptive shoulder so that Ken is forced to land on it or forced to neutral jump parry it. But Ken delays his jump a little bit and doesn't really work out for the Yun. But he ends up getting a parry into a throw, I believe, into a follow-up. So now he whiffs dive kick, and now he's at a weird distance where he's either going to have to neutral jump fierce kick or try to dive kick on his face and then jump away. Or target combo. So he goes for target combo into standing medium punch. Yun's standing medium punch is +6 on block. So it's very advantageous. Like, Ken can't do anything. He's forced to sit there. But there is a lot of space built afterward. So he tries to walk forward, thinking, or to make the Ken think that he's going to either command throw or regular throw. But Yun's options are a lot deeper than that, obviously. He still has crouching light kick. He has close standing medium kick, which is what he baits this with. So he baits the throw. Ken throws because he's out of throw range after close standing medium punch, and he hits him with the standing medium kick. Now, in this particular situation, he has 2 options. He can do dash punch to knock him down and then activate, or he can get guaranteed damage off of light punch, shoulder, activate, medium kick, up kicks, palm. Now, I tested it earlier because I watched this video before, and I hadn't seen many Yuns do that. So, essentially, he can get 60% damage or so off of that combo. So he's going to go for a combo, or he can go for a reset. 1, 2, palm, 1, fierce punch, shoulder, shoulder, forward fierce, dash punch. Now, with that particular ender, he gets the most meter possible. He still gets about 15 to 20%. And like I said, it did about 60% of his life. So he's going to get the knockdown, and because he ended with a dash punch, he's at that range where he can pretty much do whatever he wants. He whiffs crouching medium punch to possibly make the opponent guard depending on when he's pressing it, or to whiff for meter, like kill frames during their get up so that you can time your things properly. He does crouching fierce punch, which is weird. And then he down parries thinking that he's going to do crouching medium kick or crouching light kick. Walks in and out of throw range, doesn't get a punish, and now he's going to run away. He has full bar, or full life bar, so he doesn't need to risk any of his life in order to get meter at this point. He can, but because Ken doesn't have any meter, he doesn't really have to worry about anything. He can go in, he can run away, you know. Ken's forced to make the moves here. So he's just going to run away, and he's going to crouching medium kick, buffer, dash punch if he thinks he's at a range where Ken will dash, you know, make him jump, etc. And he's just going to build meter. Neutral jump, dive kick, that was weird, throw break. So even after that throw break, he still doesn't have meter. One crouching medium punch is not going to get there. He would need to, or medium kick. He would need a medium kick into DP to get the meter. And even then, it would be a very poor choice to use meter at that point because Yun still has all this life. He would need to do DP into a set play, and if that set play is correct and works, then he can think about using his meter. But he goes for a tick throw. Yun walks back, throws him out of the recovery, and again throws him again. So at the beginning, Ken is at DED range. That's why he does crouching medium kick here. If Yun did shoulder or whatever and it trades, he still would get meter for super. And he could super him. So Yun's going to light kick, dive kick, and then try to get in. So standing medium kick to stop a jump. And then he gets punished for it. Super jump forward, he's going to land in front. Gets thrown for it. Dash punch forward, and then meaty light punch shoulder. Shoulder for Yun is light punch shoulder. On hit is +6, and on block is -1. So he can pretty much do whatever he wants after that. So after a standing fierce kick, if Ken does crouching roundhouse or crouching medium kick or anything, Yun can just neutral jump, medium kick, dive kick, and punish. But doesn't get the full damage even though he was crouching. Gets back thrown. Neither of them have meter that's close enough to really matter. Ken does have a life lead, so he's just going to pressure. Dashes forward to make sure that he's on top of him. And again, he has the three-way mix-up. Mistimes his meaty, gets thrown for it. Yun builds 2 medium punches of meter, so about 6%. Baits out a DP, is going to punish with 1, 2, 3, or 1, 1, 2, 3 into Genejin. Probably full combo here. Yep. Proper ender. Okay. So he only gets about 10% meter from that, but he gets a lot of damage. He's 1 command throw or 1 throw away from winning at this particular juncture. So he really just has to like walk out of range of Ken or try to cross him up with dive kicks. But again, he's at that same range where he can whiff a medium and then he can meaty. But against other characters like Necro or Yun or Yang or people with very fast quick get-ups, like it's not the best option to really whiff at this point. But again, he whiffs and walks back, gets his little bit of meter and walks back, and now forces Ken to make a decision. Ken goes for a crouching medium punch. Yun really can't do anything after this, but like I said earlier, Kens have a tendency to do crouching medium punch and a dash, so he reads the dash and gets target combo into, you know, not a kill, but essentially a kill. He just needs anything. Gets a punish because he just tries to do whatever he can to win. Next match. Again, Yun's options: jump, walk back, light punch shoulder, dash punch, crouching medium kick, air to air, jump forward, dive kick. Goes for jump forward, Ken walks back. You would think that he would dive kick, but he ends up getting a poke, which gives him 8% meter. It also puts him at proper range so that he hits him right at the knee with his dive kick, so he can't be properly punished for it, even if it was a parry. But because of that, he could have walked forward and command grabbed. He read it and jumped out. He's going to get a cross up. Or he should have. Lands and gets thrown. Dash punches to catch the quick rise so that he can meaty. meaties with a standing medium punch, because at that range the only thing that can hit is crouching medium kick and standing medium punch. So Yun's goal right now is to get him back towards the corner. Gets him in the corner, dashes up. Because he's dashing up, he'll be right on top of him. He can either neutral jump and do a mix-up, or he can meaty, or he can command throw, or normal throw, or just sit there. So he whiffs a button and then throws. So he tries to make him guard and then throws. So after the throw, he gets 3 crouching medium punches, which is about 9% meter. He's about 15% meter away, so all he needs is anything into a blocked shoulder. So neutral jump to try to make Ken make a move. Ken decides to walk forward, walk back. Yun knows that he's going to try and jump out, so he jumps back to stop that. He doesn't have meter for EX, so Yun can jump with impunity. He doesn't really need to worry. Again, perfect spacing for fierce kick, dive kick off of neutral jump. Ken also is probably likely going to jump or stand still. So Yun whiffs a dive kick in order to get a response from Ken. Ken decides to jump. He neutral jumps and lands into a trip guard 1-2-3. He does palm instead of shoulder for whatever reason, in order to get Gennage in, and he's going to get his crouching light kick walk up set up, but he goes for a dash punch instead, which confuses me. It's probably a missed input for shoulder. He gets DP'd for it. He doesn't really have a whole lot of meter to throw away for things, so my bet is he's going to do crouching light kick, light kick, light kick on Yun's wake up to at least eat a second. Again, dashes up, does medium punch, fierce punch, forces Yun to block, both eat time. And again, because he's only -2, he can still do a lot of things and get away with it, or he can just block low. Doesn't block, opts to go forward, dashes, Yun jumps out. So because he whiffs a DP, Yun punishes with standing fierce punch, probably into shoulder. Nope, forward fierce dash punch. Standing medium kick, forward fierce into dash punch. That's actually the optimal ender there, because if you had done shoulder, it would not have ended to the point where you could do shoulder forward fierce dash punch. You would only have gotten shoulder dash punch, I believe, because the shoulder would have hit at the end, like right at the end of Gennage. So he gets 20% meter for that. He tries for a delayed super jump light kick, which hits at the knees, and he blocks it. He goes for 1-2-3 for some reason, even though that never reaches. And Ken's cornered. So Yun's going to back up and play goaltender. And he has 50% bar that he still needs. Ken is pretty close to a bar, but he has a long way to go. So he needs either a throw, a back throw, or he needs to get out of the corner and mount some sort of offense. Because if he mounts no offense and just relies on Yun to make a mistake, Yun can just run away, like ad infinitum at this point, because he has the entire stage to work with. So he backs up, punishes the crouching fierce kick, which I'm not sure why he did, but punishes it with the proper punish. And now he's about to have Gennage, so he's more than likely going to run away, whiff a button, and then activate. He'll probably chase and try to crouch a medium kick. Nope. Just whiffs one button, gets meter anyway. Tries to stop a jump with standing medium kick. Ends up getting dash up back thrown for it. Now he's cornered. Ken tries to down parry into forward throw, and Yun is jumping out. Does the dive kick away, is not in range for crouching medium kick. Activates. See, it was not in range for crouching medium kick, but because he whiffed it, he should be able to whiff punish with standing fierce punch. Misses the whiff punish. Again, forward fierce. He's not going to be close enough for anything, so he's going to jump forward. His options here are jump forward fierce kick, jump forward target combo, jump forward light kick, dive kick. target combo gets him the closest. So that way he can do crouching light kick does overhead. Ken reacts and blocks. But it wasn't close enough for the overhead. He would need to walk between those two crouching light kicks for the overhead to be in range. And again, Ken's just eating time in his meter. So crouching medium punch, crouching medium kick into shoulder. Not shoulder. EX Hado to eat the rest of his meter up. Because that's more important than Ken having meter for super, since one jump in is essentially going to net him enough, or one DP jumps out. Throw break, because that's Yun's best option at that particular moment. It's also Ken's. So Yun rejumps, tries to hit him. If Yun had done anything but light kick, dive kick, it would have been hit by the standing medium kick. His whiff dive kick gets thrown because it was misplaced, and now he's going to get double dash into meaty. Doesn't double dash because he doesn't quick rise. Dashes once and then forces the timing for meaty. Again, instead of meatying, this forward throw keeps him cornered, because even if he breaks it, neutral is still in Ken's favor since Yun is cornered and he has no meter. So he's walking back and forth trying to do the whole gatekeeping thing, and Yakkun's just sitting there. He's trying to find a positioning that he goes at where the boss goes to, where he can jump out. So since he's not able to jump out, he's just going to try and force him to make a decision as to if he's going to be poking or not. So he's whiffing a light kick, dive kick to either get him to move forward or to give him space to move forward into him. So he whiffs a button, and because he whiffs something, he's going to be walking backwards to try and stop him from jumping out. So he walks backwards, but because Yun didn't super jump, he's not going to go very far. He lands right in front of him, so he can either try to trip guard or he can try to throw. So he gets his back throw, and now Yun is cornered. So he gets his double dash up into whatever he wants. At that range, Yun was trying to bait something out, but he waited for him to be halfway down the screen before he did his fierce kick, which hits him. So thinking that he might dash, he throws out standing light kick into a buffered jab dash punch. But as Ken's far away, doesn't block it or anything, dash punch doesn't come out. Walks forward and whiffs. He's going to land right here. So because Ken doesn't have a good poke that he can throw out at that range, he walks back into crouching medium kick range, crouching fierce kick range. Yun whiffs his his crouching medium punch, but he's still cornered. So Ken's jumping forward to make sure that he's still in the corner. Yun can try to dash punch out, or he can just eat the jump in, neutral. Because if he tries to dash punch and he lands onto the dash punch and parries, he'll get punished for it. So he whiffs the fierce kick to make sure that he lands fast enough, and so that Yun can't actually get under him with the dash punch from that range. But because he's in trip guard, Yun can land and throw him back into the corner. So now he's going to try and get as much meter as possible, obviously. He's at a life deficit. Ken does have a stick of butter, but he still needs to be offensive a little bit. He can't just run away. He needs to try and get as much meter as possible, which means his opponent needs to block or he needs to hit him. So he hits him with a crouching medium kick and then a jumping medium kick. So that's 8%, so 16% meter. Goes for shoulder into activate at that range because it would have punked the crouching medium punch from Ken. And now he gets a mix-up. He's going to go for a command grab at some point. Doesn't. Ken again goes for EX Hado to try to get him off of him. And if worst case scenario he blocks, it eats time. Double dash up, which is something that always happens after a hit EX Hado, and then goes for a meaty. He tries to walk back, gets hit with the crouching light kick, but Ken can't really do anything off of that at that spacing. So Yun just walk back, get crouching medium kick into dash punch. Follows up, standing fierce punch probably, to try and build space again and also get a little bit of meter. Hits with it, gets 20% meter. At perfect spacing under the timer so that he's forcing Ken to make decisions again. He jumps back into the corner at Ken, he's probably going to target combo. Builds space again with close standing medium punch because that has to be red parried. Walks forward, again he has options after that. He hits him with standing medium kick. Because of the amount of meter that he needs, he's going to probably do light punch shoulder into activate. Yep, so he gets up kicks into combo. Full damage under. So now all he needs is anything. Throw, crouching medium kick, crouching medium punch, forward medium kick, literally anything. He tries to bait a jump from him, does so successfully, and he light kick, dive kick, so he lands before Ken and parries the jump in, misses the punish, because Ken is very low, so Yun probably his best punish would have been standing light kick into dash punch. Misses it, gets back thrown, again, because he double dashes and Yun quick rises, he can throw, because it's very hard to time meaties after that. So if you throw Yun in the corner, only dash once, and then try to properly time your meaties, because if you dash twice, you're susceptible to throw a little more consistently. Because if your timing's not perfect, then you're going to be negative on your dash, and you're going to get thrown. Oops. Let's, okay. So Yun backs off, and they're at spacing where he can afford to whiff crouching light kick, dive kick. So he's going to whiff in front of him instead with medium kick, dive kick. He gets a throw because Ken was walking forward, and he can't really go to a button off of walking forward fast enough. So if he had done medium punch shoulder there, it would have been beaten out by the standing medium kick, but it trades with the light punch shoulder, and he gets about 15% meter for it. He's going for crouching medium kick here because he did the shoulder, but Yun's jumping, so he should be able to punish, but does not. Ends up empty jumping, and usually after an empty jump from Yun, you're going to expect a jump again or a throw, so the Ken opts for a throw break. Neutral, again, after neutral, Yun doesn't really have a whole lot of options. He has like standing fierce punch, dash punch, stuff like that. Ken's best option to fill space, if he thinks that Yun is going to press anything, is standing fierce kick, standing medium kick, crouching medium kick. Ends up getting whiffed. Yun could have comboed there, actually, with standing light kick, but opts for command throw instead. And then gets a follow-up. Standing fierce punch gives him 20% meter, and then he activates. So now he's forced to walk him down. So he's going to whiff light kick, dive kicks, and try to whiff crouching, or standing medium punch, whiff light kick, Kara light kick, so that he can push him towards the corner. Or just air to air. Tries to, because of air to air, light punch, fierce punch, he gets a reset. Goes for palm, but that doesn't reach that far. And ends up getting a small reset. Somehow lands crouching light kick into medium punch shoulder. Gets the knock up and gets the ender. Just builds a little bit of meter and then goes for the palm. Because at that particular point, Ken has the option of blocking, or he has the option of parrying, or he has the option of DPing. If he DPs you, then the palm wins. If he blocks, he might take chip damage and die anyway. I mean, he basically has to parry at that point. So he light kick dive kicks and walks forward. As he's walking forward, Ken knows that he can jump with impunity because the Yun can't parry immediately. So the Yun either has to sit there and let Ken do jumping fierce kick, or Ken can do jumping medium kick, and if Yun continues to walk forward, he'll get a cross up into a setup. They both whiffed grab off of that, and then Yun's running away, trying to make sure to stay safe. Again, he does crouching medium punch there, thinking that Ken is probably going to dash in, and he buffers dash punch and gets his gauge in. So he goes for a crouching or a down parry into a DP, thinking that Yun is just going to do crouching light kick, but since he only does one, the DP doesn't hit him, and it whiffs. And now he gets a punish. So he has about 30% meter. He needs about 2 set plays in order to get meter, if they work. So he whiffs, and then waits for a reaction. And at this point, same situation. He has 6 different options. Goes for crouching medium kick, but because of the range, he backed up 1 space. Fierce punch DP only hits the first hit, doesn't continue. So he's going to get a punish on this. Gets or it should have been the full conversion, which would have given him meter. Jumps away, going to get meter activate. He's too low for him to be able to contest. He can't really move forward. And his dash isn't fast enough. He would have had to EX Tatsu, but he was doing jump back fierce punch, which could have traded. So now he's trying to get in. And again, Ken throws EX to eat time. So from the time that the EX came out, he ate about 15% of his meter. And now he's forced to walk forward even more. He has to cover this space. So Ken will successfully make his meter go down to about here by the time that he gets in. Again, he's barely in. He's almost to the point. He's in. Ken jumps. So at this point, Yun has a couple options. He can try to knock him out of the air with standing medium kick, standing fierce punch, standing medium punch. He can try to parry Ken's jumping fierce kick on the way down. Or he can walk back, wait for the fierce kick to whiff, and then crouching medium kick forward fierce. He baits the button, but he just neutral jumps instead. He's at perfect range now for command throw. So he knows that he's at perfect range for command throw, so he just throws. But the Yun knows that he's going to throw. Again, the whole layers of Oki, or layers of mind games. And then tries to go for a standing medium kick punish for the throw whiff and misses. Gets him off of him and continues to push forward. That was weird. Now he's cornered. Neither of them have meter though, but the Ken does have the life lead. If Yun jumps after the standing fierce kick, pretty much anything that Ken does will beat the jump. So he walks up and tries to bait throw, and he goes to crouching throw tech, and down parries a crouching light punch that will come out, and misses his Kara. And now Yun's just going to try and run away. And again, because they're so low life, and Yun doesn't have Ganejin, he's forced to move forward. He doesn't have a choice. And then he gets the punish. So, again, to recap, Yakkun very much likes to move forward. He's not whiffing with as many light kick dive kicks as I've seen other Yuns use. He likes to neutral jump a lot more, and he likes to hit him at the knees if at all possible. with his dive kicks. Um, but he's also not being overly solid or run away. He's very much staying like in Ken's face unless he's really uncomfortable and then runs away. He's still sitting in this range where okay, so he's sitting at the range where Ken is here and Yun is here. So it's almost the same as the starting range. And he's waiting and he's trying to make his opponent whiff his moves. So here he can whiff crouching fierce kick, standing fierce kick, crouching medium kick, etc. And Yun can dive kick in, and that's how he's getting in on Ken early game. Um, he gets the punish, but because of the spacing, he doesn't get a full punish. He doesn't get a combo. So because the Ken knows that that's an improper spacing, he goes for the throw, because again, Yun's only options are throw and jump. So Yun jumps away, builds the space that he wants, and then fills the space that he thinks Ken wants to go into with standing fierce punch. Hits his jump, and now they're spaced out again, so in neutral. So he doesn't want to let him breathe, so he dashes in. And because he dashed in and he jumped forward, he can hit him air to air with this jump. Hits him air to air, and then he lands right in front of him. He'll be in Ken's throw range, though. So he'll have to back up if he wants to be out of that range. Or he can try to meaty him on his way down. Doesn't meaty him. Ken thinks he's going to throw him, so he backdashes. Gets his crouching fierce kick blocked, but the Yun's not punishing with dash punch, which is weird. Goes for regular throw. Ken jumps out, reading the throw. Keeps Yun in the corner. Yun tries to, again, hit him right in the knee. Even if he parries, it's not going to amount to much. He doesn't have any meter to take advantage of it anyway. Continues to walk him down, gets hit with a standing fierce kick for it. Tries to go for the trap. He's probably going to end up trying to throw him. Throws him because he tried to input forward parry. Medium punch, dash punch to catch the quick roll and give him time to meaty. Meaty's with, again, he has two options for meaty there, crouching medium or standing medium. Gets the knockdown and the activation. Light kick, dive kick for whiff. At this point, he's in range for standing fierce punch, standing medium punch, crouching light kick. Walks back, tries to bait the throw. Hits him with crouching light kick, gets the command throw, forward. Ends up getting the proper ender. So, we'll go over that ender just because it's here. So, he gets the dive kick. He's going to walk back, crouching light kick, walk up, crouching light kick into command throw. Doesn't even crouching light kick, just walks up command throws. He has about 50% meter. So he does command throw, EX up kicks, shoulder, forward, medium punch shoulder. Now he has 10% meter. So he has enough for one thing inside of Ganejin, one thing outside of Ganejin, and then the ender. So he does forward medium punch, Ganejin's ending. He's going to get medium punch shoulder, forward fierce punch, dash punch, which is the maximum amount of meter, which is about 40%. DPs him. Gets the front side medium kick and goes for back medium kick. Confirms. So that's something that Boss hadn't done the entire set. He hadn't done back medium kick the entire set. And it worked. That one time that he did it. Because he wasn't expecting it. So there he empty jumps, crouching light punch, or light kick, standing light punch for proximity guard, and then walk forward throw, but misses the tick throw. Gets punished for his whiff throw. Again, does the dash punch to catch his quick roll, and goes for the same meaty setup, and gets medium punch, fierce punch, back fierce punch. Or should have. Activates to make sure that he gets the win. Because Ken doesn't have meter either, so it's not disadvantageous for him to use his meter there. It's safer for him to just get the kill, go up the round. That particular crouching roundhouse, though, he couldn't have dash punched. It was too far away. Parries the standing fierce punch, dashes up, and then he's going to shoulder. The shoulder gets DP'd. So now Ken gets a dash up of his own, and then he gets a meaty. So he tries to throw, gets backdash instead. Yun's going to be building meter. He only whiffs twice, knows that Ken's going to jump in, and he'll be in range for crouching medium kick. So he jumps away. Again, Ken's trying to push forward. He has meter, Yun does not. He's trying to get into a range where his pokes are effective. Yun's just neutral jumping to make sure that if he presses anything in this range that he can punish it with dive kick, even if it's not a comboable dive kick. Comes down with jumping fierce kick, or fierce punch. The Ken tries to whiff punish it, but fails. The Yun's jumping back again. Yun almost has meter. He's going to whiff 1, 2. The Ken's not willing to let him get out of the corner for free. But he also, like I was saying earlier, Yun is not really all that good with Ganejin when he's in the corner. And he's sitting at a space where he can literally just run away or throw EX Hado and eat time. So the Yun is being very careful. He's cornering himself and he's waiting for a time for him to get out of the corner to activate. So he tried to jump out, gets hit. Tries to jump out again and gets hit. Blocks, dashes forward, and he's dashing back. Tries to throw, gets hit. Tries to hit a jump with standing medium kick, but also forces him to proximity guard. Gets the same thing. So there he jump forward parries, because he knows that the only thing that can hit him at that range, since he has time to jump, is a delayed standing medium kick. So he parries the delayed standing medium kick, gets out, dodges the standing fierce kick, and is at perfect range to start his activation. But if he activated right then and Ken jumps, he would have got a combo on Yun. So he whiffs the crouching medium kick in case he stays still, and then he can activate if that hits or is blocked. But boss jumps. Lands on his crouching medium kick, activation. But he's too far away to combo off the crouching medium kick, so he's going to be forced to pressure him. Tries to jump forward, gets shoryu'd for it. Again, Ken's being relentless during his Ganejin. He's not giving him any time. He gets the knockdown and he's immediately standing medium punching, because even if Yun parries it, Yun is forced to throw, which will eat more Ganejin time, since he can't really crouching light kick, since he can just beat the crouching light kick with the second part of the chain combo. EX is to knock him down, again eating more meter. Relentless pressure, doesn't let him get up for free. Gets thrown for it, and now Yun's going to run away and try to build meter, because it's a huge life deficit, and he has the entire screen to run away with. But he doesn't want to corner himself, so he's going to try and sit in this range right here of the stage, if he can help it. So once he corners himself, Ken moves forward to limit the screen space. Whiff's dive kick is going to get throw tech. Jumps back again to try to build some meter, since they're still in neutral and he's still far away. Tries to get over him, gets the parry. The only thing he could have done there is DP or standing medium kick. Both can be parried pretty much at the same timing. He tries to do dive kick into 1-2-3 but fails because the spacing for that is very specific, and he's hit him at a space where he could have only done crouching medium kick or standing light kick into dash punch.
さあゲージ発動した。ここで勝負かける。
Again, tries to go forward. He's not really scared to jump because he can afford to eat a combo. He'll still live. But if he jumps and hits him with anything, then it's going to take at least 5 to 10% of his life. It does so, and then he makes sure to do crouching light kick into EX Fireball to eat meter, and then they're forced to go back into neutral, and it's going to end Gage in. He ends up trying to parry the second shoulder and ends up eating the shoulder because of that. And now Yun has advantage. So because of this, he can literally just EX Shoryu and it'll chip. So because he knows that, he backdashes, trying to bait it out. And if he had done it, he could medium punch shoulder it and then dash punch and pretty much be to the point where Ken can't really do anything. He's trying to jump back and build meter, knows that Ken is going to be jumping after him, so he super jumps and then light kick, dive kick. They both land at the same time, so they both throw. Jumping light kick to make sure that Yun's not trying to jump forward. And then Yun doesn't have a choice really, he has to jump, so he just puts a boot in his face. Wonderful. I don't remember where we were. Okay, I think we were here. Yep. So this was the game. Rewatch this, I'm sorry about that. Again, gets the cross up into the Shoryu, not the Shoryu, misses the parry, etc., etc. Okay, this is where we were. Gets the fierce kick. Thinking that he's going to try and jump forward, he does his medium kick. Jump forward, air parry, and let's see that one more time just to be sure. Okay, medium kick to stop the jump. He dashes forward, he doesn't do anything to stop the dash. He jumps away, dashes forward again. Super jump. Does a button, whiffs. Ken jumps after him. He jump parries Ken, but Ken's going to land before him, so he has time to trip guard the Yun. Because if the Yun didn't press a button there, he would not have gotten hit by the crouching light kick. But because he pressed light punch, he was in trip guard when he landed. So Ken takes advantage. Tries to super jump forward, gets his meaty. Stops him, pushes him forward towards more towards the corner with his Shoryu, or his Fireball. EX Fireball to stop jump. Multiple dashes to make sure that he stays on top of him. Throw break. It's the first activation in the corner that we've seen the entire time. So now he's trying to go after him. You can't punish that really, so that's why he dashes up crouching light kick. He has no meter, he has to get a command grab or something. Tries to go for a bait, thinking that he's going to command grab, trying to get him to grab, to standing medium kick his grab. Parries? Wow. Okay. That's a lot of damage. This is very hard to come back from. Trade. Should have traded. Alright. I believe there's only like 2 or 3 more games. And it's over. You get 3 minutes.
さあ来週もじ
Follows
ゃあ
up,
弱
gets
小竜
his
ダメージがして
button
る
DP'd.
弱小竜が
So
投
he
げる
tried to punish the cross up with crouching medium punch, but ended up hitting the other side from the parry.
ガー先生中盤
Interesting.
中盤デッドが入って
Just goes for it.
さあ
Walks back and
大パンで
forth.
蹴る
Stops Yun from getting out. Goaltending.
かかと
Does his
見えない
back fierce
これは
medium kick.
ちなみにこ
Back medium kick is something that a lot of Japanese Yuns don't use all that often because it is something that you can react to.
のかかとはまあしゃがみ
When Nico KO plays, you'll see him very often just stand block the first hit, red parry the second hit, and
ド
punish.
ラップ
So it's very dangerous.
なんでは刺さりやすいです
So again, he's trying to fill the space that Ken wants to go forward into. So he tries again with shoulder and does not do that. It doesn't work, obviously. And then Ken just lands, gets his cross-up mix-up, which is tick into whatever he wants. Gets the back throw off the tick. Quick rise, backs up to a point where he can't be thrown. And then immediately does Emperor Punch, probably into hit confirm.
中盤陣内が刺さるさすがボス
Again, the same thing,
さあ投げた
or
ミス
similar.
だったが壊しに
And now his opponent is cornered, and now he's activating Ganejin. So at this point, he's down in life, so he has to get as much damage as possible. So if he gets a command throw, he's probably going to want to do a reset to make sure that he gets as much meter and as much damage as possible. Otherwise, he has a very uphill battle.
ゲージ
Nice. He does a far crouching light kick, because if you do it up close, your opponent can immediately throw your crouching light kick. So he does it at the maximum distance. Ken parries it, and he does palm. So now he's going to get a good damage combo, proper ender into about 30% meter, and Yun has the advantage now.
7割
So he backs up out of range of anything and walks up into standing medium punch range. Again, he hit confirms into dash punch. He whiffs once, and then Ken makes the decision to jump.
プレーサが
Throws his dash.
さあゲージ商業は圧倒的とはいえユンが有利か
So again, at that spacing, both players want to be jumping because he wants to be whiffing to get into his face, and he wants to be anti-airing. And his best anti-air is actually air-to-air against Yun. DP is too inconsistent. So again, he jumps, and then he jumps again, because he knows that if Yun light kick dive kicks, his secondary jump will cross him up.
さあ
Tries to cross him up, Yun walks forward. Misses, tries to throw, whiffs. Yun super jumps. Beats it air to air with his fierce kick. So because he lands before Ken, he can activate. And Ken's already airborne, so he needs to either jump fierce kick or try to parry the oncoming onslaught from Yun. Likely a dash punch.
最悪なはず
Goes opts for Kara. Close standing medium kick on the jump in. Gets parried. Can't combo. Red parries the fireball and
おいしい
maintains his combo.
最悪っていうか
Gets an ender for about 25% meter. Whiffs the once, quick get up. Now he can either command grab, crouching leg kick, standing medium punch, etc. Goes for delayed standing medium kick, which he likes to do a lot. I'm not quite sure why, but it seems to be his go-to.
さあ中継でしょ
Delays his hit so that he can't parry after it
が入っても次で
properly.
ゲージがたまる
Goes for the furthest range possible crouching light kick into shoulder. That's hard to parry. So it gets his activation, and now he's literally just going to try and do whatever he can to get his command throw for the win. But Ken's not going to let him. He tries to contest with his crouching light kick, which is okay. It's not something that I suggest doing too often. But he knows that Yuns are likely going to jump after that, so he jumps himself. He thinks that Yun's going to continue to jump, so he tries to EX and ends up landing before Yun, and Yun trip guards him for it. Punishes, walks back, and then makes him block, and then he's at perfect range for doing his own gatekeeping. Gets his command grab, goes back to literally one shoulder worth of Canadian, whiffs 5 moves, gets Canadian, activates, and now he literally can't do anything because he has so low life. He manages to jump into it and get a combo though, but he's still at a deficit. It's a life deficit. He needs 2 mix-ups. So he frame traps him with the standing fierce punch, because the standing fierce punch with Ken on block is -2, and if Yun really wants to do anything, if Ken does his crouching strong, which is 6 frames, it's not really going to do a whole lot. And it's also too far away for Yun to standing light kick, so the only option for Yun is crouching medium kick, which will get beat out. Yun tries to get out. Air to air. Ah! And he gets hit with the overhead. And I got one more game. So again, walk back, shoulder, dash punch, crouching medium punch, neutral jump, dive kick. Those are like the main options at the beginning of the round. Jump back fierce. So he's going for some space building and then immediately going back in. Whiffs the dive kick, even though he doesn't really need to. But at that range, if he had tried any other dive kick, it would have hit his shoulder. So he didn't have another choice. He had to light kick dive kick. Tries to dash in, gets hit with standing medium kick. Again, jumps. Misses his hit confirm. Air to air. He's constantly trying to move forward. And the only reason he's trying to move forward in this situation is because Ken already has meter, and Ken is in the process of cornering him with a lot of life. And Yun doesn't want that with less than half of a bar and less than half of his life. So he has to get out of the corner at any cost. And he gets back thrown for it. Super. He needs 1 mix-up now. Unfortunately, this will be the only match that I'm going over as my headset is going to die. But tomorrow after work, I will gladly do another one. Proper ender. Misses the ender. Zempos his dash. So when he dashes up, Ken has a couple options, or Yun only has 2 options. He has crouching medium kick and standing fierce punch. Like, those are his best 2 options. Because standing fierce punch pushes him really far away. And he had meter, so he can punish the roundhouse if he did crouching roundhouse or standing roundhouse. So he only builds space when he needs less than 10% of his meter, or when he intends to go right back in and is just repositioning, knowing that Ken is likely going to try to jump out, or jump, or dash into a certain position, just so that he can reposition himself and make sure that he is aptly positioned to try to deal with Ken's pokes and trying to punish them so that he can re-jump to dive kick onto them. That was interesting.
And
And it's dead. But that's okay.
and like I said to
Well, thank you to Lloyd for uploading that video a couple years ago. Tomorrow I'm going to cover Boss versus Hirai, and I'm also going to cover Nito versus Matsuken. I'll do that tomorrow, probably around 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Sorry this took so long. Took about an hour and a half to 2 hours, but it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.